Hello, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. This week I have a very special guest with me. I have Stephany Poe of Poe Consulting, and I did an interview with her on my Sarah's Prismatic Musings channel. I'll link that above right here so y'all can take a look at her business consulting, what she offers, what she does. But Stephany is not only a business consultant, but she's an astrologer. And so we are going to try something different. We're going to do like this month for Aries season, what the month astrologically looks like and ahead, and then we're going to do a tarot reading. So go ahead, Stephany, and tell us what this Aries season holds for us.
Oh my gosh. So thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And hi, everyone. I am Stephany. Yes, I'm a business consultant, but I love astrology. And I credit a lot to astrology, to the energies in the atmosphere of the universe, whatever it is you want to call it. I'm not here to share this information to convert anybody. So let's make sure we're clear with that. This is not a conversion process. This is only education. So you can take it how you take it. It's not to diagnose you or say anything medically or legally related, because I cannot give legal advice. But the information that I am sharing is something I just choose to share because I know a lot of people is feeling the energy in the atmosphere. I mean, we have been saying it, and then when I say we, I mean those who read energies, who read the stars into astrology, into numerology, things of that nature. They understand, they know that Pluto has moved into Aquarius. Now, before it moved into Aquarius, it was in an earthy sign, and I believe it was Capricorn, if memory serves me correctly, but it was in a different sign. And so astrologers have been talking about how Pluto is going to move into Aquarius at the end, or maybe even middle to end of 2024. And Pluto's definitely moved into Aquarius and it's here. We've already seen a lot of it unfold. So, really quick, Pluto is the planet that is the furthest from the sun, but it's also the closest planet to the stars, to whatever is the next door to open when you get to that higher playing field. So those people who are Pluto or have Pluto in their chart at least, Pluto is very deep, very transformative. But then you have Aquarius. And Aquarius are those type of people are humanitarians and great friends. I mean, wonderful friends. You can call another friend and ask for a little bit of emotional support, venting, whatever the case may be. But an Aquarius, great friendship, just great all the way around. They not only help listen to you vent, but then they're like, okay, now what are we going to do next? And they are humanitarian people. So they think collectively rather than subjectively or individually. So, how is this going to impact people? And they're non traditionalists. So that means they do not conform to what is currently happening in social, professional, whatever capacity or climate there is out there, you want to call it. So, with Pluto being in Aquarius or Aquarius into Pluto, however you choose to phrase that, this is deep transformation that is going to do just that. It is going to transform you. And so, change is the one thing that remains constant in this world. So, when people are resistant to change, it's either going to happen by force or by choice. And if the change has to happen to you by force, you will be hurt in the process. So, it's forcing change all the way around. And if you've planted some seeds that weren't so good, or you were on bullshit at any point in time, your seeds will definitely grow. You'll see the seeds. But if you are planting seeds of positivity and productivity and constructiveness and all those good things that are forward moving progression, then you'll see the fruits of your labor and you will be happy with the fruits of your labor. But make no mistake about it, it is definitely about work. You're going to have to work, and what better way to work in Aries season, because Aries is the warrior. They are the initiator. They are fiery energy, very fiery energy. They are also the first child of the zodiac sign. The mother of the zodiac sign are Cancers. The father is Leo. but the first child is Aries. So Aries is very much about me, me, me. They can't help that because they're first. Why not? But if you get yourself a healed Aries who understands it's about me, 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 they teach and show other people how to put themselves first as well. That's one of the positive qualities about them. And so with Pluto moving into Aquarius and making things change, Aries season makes shit happen. They can be a bit impulsive. So for Aries people out there that are very impulsive, I would advise that you wait a few moments, count to 10. Do that, count to 10 and then make a choice because it gives your head time to catch up to your heart because that's passion, that's fire, desire, and competitive nature. My goodness, competitive. These people know how to win and they will win. It's not easy. It's not easy to compete with these people. So in Aries season, even if you aren't an Aries sun sign, you have an entire natal chart. And there's plenty of astrologers you can talk to, you can listen to find out more information about it. I do business natal charts, but business only. But if you have Aries anywhere in your chart, in the houses, in the sign of Aries, you are going to demonstrate that house qualities through Aries traits. So, for example, if you have a seventh house Aries, seventh house is the house of relationships. It's also situationships. It could also be business ships, but it's primarily romantic relationships. So with Aries being in the seventh house in that particular space, then as an Aries, your the person definitely needs to stroke your ego. Definitely needs to stroke your ego. And if you are passionate about a person, and remember, it could be romantic ship, it is primarily that, but also business ships, situation ships, other ships, whatever the case may be. Whatever your goal is for the two, for you and whatever other person this is, whatever ship they're in that space for you, you're going to demonstrate Aries qualities, that fiery, that passion, that go getter, that initiator, that warrior, competitive, winner, take all. Winner take all. That's Aries, winner take all. You're going to demonstrate those behavior traits filtered through that house. So you don't have to necessarily have a sun sign Aries, but even if you have a moon sign Aries, and moon governs our emotions, that's one of the celestial items in the solar system or galaxy that isn't a planet, but also isn't housed by two or more zodiac signs. Most of the planets all have two rulers, but it's the sun and the moon that only has one. And the sun is Leo, and the moon is Cancer, mother, father. Interesting how that works. But if you have Aries in your moon sign, you are very fiery with your emotions. And understand the planet Mars is also ruled by Aries. So you don't even have to necessarily just deal with the house per se. You can have the actual planetary or planet in the sign of, Aries. Aries rules Mars. So where is Mars in your natal chart? And I'm going from emotion to Mars because Mars rules Aries. And we just got done with Aries being in Cancer. And Aries do not like to be in water signs. Mars might be able to do something with Scorpio, but for Pisces and Cancer, no. The planet Mars does not like to be in that emotional space. It's too much emotion. It's too much waiting because it slows you down. And Mars, the planet Mars, ruled by Aries, is go, go, go. We're move fast. We're moving. So if they see an action that needs to be taken, they're going to take it. But in the water signs, they're going to think about it. Not saying there's nothing wrong with think about it, but again, Aries people are impulsive. And even if you have a seventh house Aries, you can be impulsive in that space too, and it could backfire bad, really, really bad. So just be careful about that. And especially right now with the backfiring, the Mercury retrogrades, the Venus retrogrades, we're hearing about it all the time. All of that plays a part in today's realm. It really does. So if you have Aries as your moon sign, and remember, moon governs emotion, which is housed by Cancer, and Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer. So if you have this moon sign there, then your emotions are very fiery. You might even physically fight somebody. I think you probably might real life fight somebody. Like you might put hands on somebody. So that could be a bit too. These are not the people you want to get upset because they will take it there. They go beneath the floor. When you say, how low can you go? Can you go to the floor? They go underneath the fucking floor. So, yeah, it's no, we're not even going to do it. But they also get over things very quickly. So, if there was an argument or a disagreement about something, they get over it pretty quickly. Just don't harp on it. So they get moving. But for this season, for everybody, use that energetic Aryan like energy to push things forward in your life. That is the best way to use that Aries energy. But because you're not in Aries and wherever you have it in your chart and you have another sun sign or moon sign, then especially if you're like a Taurus moon, you'll do great here. Taurus, you do great here because you're already steadfast. And since it is initiating action, Aries season, we're going to initiate action. And then as we move into Taurus season, we get to make that action, that initiation more grounded. It's firm. And so now we're building, we're planting. And it all goes together with the seasons, anyways. So that's what I would say in terms of what to expect or how to utilize Aries season energy. They're the warrior, the go getter. They go after it, they initiate things. They may not be great closers, but they are great initiators, great starters. They know how to get the ball moving and moving pretty well. Now, when it's time to slow down the ball, I don't know where they fall because that's a different story. Because remember, Aries is go, go, go. So, do you have any questions? Is there anything you want me to go into a little bit more detail on?
So for the collective, just the energy right now, I know it's energetic, it's fiery, it's get the ball going. It's, the beginning of the zodiac, the beginning of the really like the year. How would you say that this plays out for businesses? Like if you want to start a business, what advice would you give?
Some advice I would give on starting a business is number one, make sure your finances are in order, meaning you do not quit a job if you do not have the money to support your business because it is not an easy route. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It can be. And for me, I am saying that it's easy because words are powerful.
Right.
So, but it will require work. It takes work. You're going to have to work in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't really matter. So make sure your finances are in order. That's number one. Two, you need to be organized. You have to think, strategize, plan, and execute those plans. For example, are you marketing? Who is your target audience you are marketing to? Where are you visible? What platforms, what social media platforms are you visible on? Who are you connected with? Are you growing your network? And who are you in community with? And do you reach back out? And also, pass the baton. What do you do in order to attract those people? Because depending on the industry you choose to go into as a solopreneur, it's going to be more challenging in terms of startup, getting it there, getting it off the ground and getting it moving. Because you may be by yourself or you may be with a joint venture. You may have a joint venture or be in partnership with someone else. So if it is more than one person, then it does work out. And of course, personality plays a big part on the continuation of that workout. But for Aries season and wanting to start your business, get up and go. Get up and move. Do your homework first, though. Make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. Start a to-do list or make a to-do list on what it is that you want to have accomplished. Set some goals by the next 6 or 8 months. I'm going to have this up and running, this up and running, this up and running. But also understand if you can't have it up and running within that time frame, it's okay too. Don't beat yourself up over it. These are learning phases. Also pull from people that you know that are business owners or people in your professional network space that are in different positions of authority or just have years of experience in the corporate world. pull on them for some knowledge because that's knowledge you're not going to get in college. You're not going to get that information there. So that would be my advice for that. Now, in terms of Aries season and the workplace period, I did say in the beginning that Pluto has moved into Aquarius, and Pluto is deep transformation, and Aquarians are non-traditionalists. There's nothing that's hidden under the carpet or rug. They don't like it. They don't like sweeping things under the rug because life is too easy to do that in a sense. Like if we take our emotions out of things, then logically things would make more sense and people would be more accepting. Maybe that's an arguable point. But what I would say is businesses are being changed in more than one way. And I know so many people are upset about going back into the workplace, or they're upset about different laws or different regulations or policies that's come out of thin air. And now all of a sudden they're impacted by those policies, whatever impact level it is, it makes no difference as I'm relating to the point of change. And I don't want to say like the bad stuff because I don't want to put that out there or anything like that. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. But there needs to be a change in our society, period. There needs to be a change on various levels. And there's a lot of people that are waking up to that notion and choosing to change internally. And because they're changing internally, it's now impacting things externally. And so, with people being forced to go back into the workplace, it's almost like, and this is me talking to a few other people over the last several months, but it's like wanting to go back to the way things were prior to COVID, and that's just not possible. COVID opened up the doors for too many options to do the same work at a better way.
Mhm.
So, and it's for both sides. It could be for employee or employer. It can be for both sides, but with pressure from other areas of society, then things trickle down. It's like a domino effect. It just trickles down. But what is not being anticipated is the pushback. And this pushback is not a light one, it's a heavy pushback. And then other things that's going on in the world, like in Canada and Europe and Asia and other parts of the world. And all of those impact everything, and nothing's being swept under the rug. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think the rug is here anymore. I think in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll definitely see and feel and know the impacts of Pluto in Aquarius. And it's going to be here for the next 20 years. Yeah.
I heard somebody talking about how we are excited, especially during Aries season, to rush the change, that we want to get to the end, but not to rush it. And I think that's like a really important point because right now we're feeling the uncertainty and the fear of that change. And that
Yeah.
this is like the unknown. We're in the unknown. We know things are changing. And all we can do is internally work on ourselves, that we have a positive mindset and we're projecting a positive outcome, right?
Right. Right.
And that if enough of us do that, a positive outcome will come about. But I know it's easy to get caught up in the hype and the fear and the BS of it all.
Yeah, it is definitely easy to do that. And even though we are in Aries season from a numerology perspective, universally, we're all in the year nine. And the year nine in numerology is the year completion. So we're completing cycles. We are done with cycles. We're cutting off relationships that no longer serve a purpose in our lives. We're doing things differently. So that is something to be said for. But individually, under this universe, we all have our own personal numbers that we are also in. Like, for example, I'm in year one, I'm in my legacy building phase. So it makes sense for me why things are being cut and completed in this year. And we're just barely peeking into the second quarter of the year, and that's business, right? So it's 4 quarters in a year for business. We're barely peeking into the second quarter for business. We're just about done with tax time because this is the first part of the year where it's really busy for numbers and crunching and things like that. But I would suggest that if there's any business owners out there that want to talk, that are really into the stars and want to understand more and how to work with that, definitely help. I do have consultations for that because this is energy we're talking about. And energy can be manipulated in all kinds of ways, but I have to also make sure energetically it is the right thing to do as well. So this is not an easy just, oh, we'll just take as many customers as we can. No, 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 no. Because we also have to safeguard our own energy.
Exactly.
So we have to do that. So take action now and get a plan started. And if you need help with getting a plan, I would suggest that you reach out to us and let us
So
know.
Stephany, a lot of people, they all want love readings and they all want love advice. What is the advice you have for people wanting to start romantic relationships this Aries season?
I would say do not do that. This
Don't
is the reason why.
don't do it.
Do not do that. Not right now. The reason why is because Mercury is still retrograde, Venus retrograde. When Venus goes into retrograde, that means that false relationships get started. Do
Mhm.
not get into a relationship during a Venus retrograde because things that appear to be shiny and glamorous and oh so fine and oh so wonderful and all these great things turns out to be not that. It turns out to be something different that you were not anticipating, nor were you prepared for. So I would advise not to be into a relationship right now. This is where Aries has to think. You got to think. You can't be impulsive here. When you are impulsive, it definitely messes with you in all sorts of ways. And then Mercury's retrograde. So what that means is that the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication, it reverses basically in movement. But energetically, what that does for people is it makes communication wonky. It makes technology a bit wonky. So, Mercury retrograde is not uncommon that people are going to misinterpret what you say and how you say it based on the delivery of the message you've been conveying. So, getting into a relationship right now with the Venus retrograde, and it may be up, but I don't have the dates in front of me. Plus, a Mercury retrograde is a recipe for disaster. It is a complete recipe for disaster. So I would wait until after the second week of April. I would wait more towards the end of Aries season when we're on the cusp between Aries and Taurus because you have some April Tauruses. So I would look at that, but I would not do a relationship right now. And even if you did a relationship like in advance, like, oh, I'm getting to know this person. Okay, so this is the time frame where I want to increase or I want to take it to the next level. Do not do it. Do not do that right now. It is not going to be great. It is not going to be what you think it is. It's just not. It's not. Now, there are some people who have the opposite effect. They, don't do anything and they get serious and oh, they're in love. But I have not seen or heard of a case such as that. And I've been doing astrology for more than 10 years. I have not done it on this platform because people know me individually, but yeah, don't do it.
It's so funny that you bring up Venus retrograde because nobody really talks about Venus retrograde. I haven't really heard of that, It's always Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is definitely getting me this Mercury retrograde season. It's been bad. I've had to re-film videos multiple times. I've had glitches on so many electronics and things like that. So I mean, it could be just where placement of Mercury is in my chart. It's just really affecting me. But Venus, that's really interesting. Doesn't seem like it's something that astrologers really talk about too much.
Yes, so a Venus in retrograde, it happens every year. This one was a doozy because uh, things came out that you didn't know. There were some surprises. I know for me, it was some surprises. But Venus is the planet of love, beauty, grace. Libra rules that, and I believe Taurus does as well. So those two signs, air and earth, rule Venus, the planet of love. And so when that's in retrograde, what looks like glitter isn't gold. It's just like it's not diamond. It's like cubic zirconia or something. And I'm sure if you clean the cubic zirconia, it's nice. It stays shiny, but then the band becomes weak, and the actual shimmer of it leaves after a while, and it doesn't come back. And before you know it, it's just like a rusted piece of iron or metal or whatever it is that's on your hand that's just there. And it doesn't look good anymore. Venus retrograde, that's just when we really need to stop and pause and think, is that a return of an ex? Possibly. It depends on which astrology you choose to listen to. A lot of them I listen to, and a lot of other people that in my spiritual space that we talk about zodiac signs and what that means and how it looks. They've had some exes return, but Mercury retrograde also returns exes too,
Mhm.
big time. It
Yeah.
definitely does. You're gonna hear something. You're gonna know something. You're gonna hear something. You're gonna do that. So, and this is not the only retrograde this year. There's some other retrogrades happening. I believe they're all in water signs too. So, Mercury retrograde is definitely when communication does not fall through or is delivered the way it's intended. Venus retrograde is false love. People who love you want to be there for you. It's just false, and they're putting on the facade. And once the facade fades away, they're back to whoever they are, their true colors are. And
Mhm.
sometimes that can be scary.
Yeah.
So no,
We
no
don't
big
want that.
no, we don't want that. Do not do it. Do not do it.
So I'm gonna pull a card from the John Holland Tarot Oracle and see what the cards have to say.
Okay.
All right, so we have rest and rejuvenation. So it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Don't just rush in. Don't just, we want things to go fast. That fire, that passion. I've got my red on for Aries season. We want like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But really, like, let's take a step back. Like Stephany said, count to 10. Meditate on it, pray on it, pull cards on it. Don't rush to action, even though we want to. We want to rush to action. We want the results yesterday. We don't want them
Yes.
today. We want them yesterday. And we really need to take our time, especially since Pluto's going to be in the sign for 20 years. We really need to take our time and make sure that the change we bring about is the change we really want and not somebody else's idea of what the changes for ourselves and for the collective and for humanity. We really have to be careful of what we speak into the world, what we project mentally into the world. So I would say, be careful with what you watch too and what you consume. Me personally, I stay away from dystopian. I don't want to watch any dystopian movies. I don't want to read any dystopian books. I'm not
Ooh,
putting that out there. So, I mean, we all have free will. I mean, if you don't believe that, watching that's going to affect anything, fine. But, hold the vision of what you want for your personal future and what you want for the collective future. Like Stephany said, plan, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's relationships, plan it out and think on it, meditate on it. Don't just rush in. It's too easy to want to do during Aries season to just go, 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 go. Everything's blooming right now. Everything's thawing out. It's getting warmer. It's getting nicer. Like we're ready to go. But it's not the time to just rush in.
it's not. And for those, wherever you have Aries in your chart, you rush in. When these energies finally clear up for a little bit and we have some breathing room, yeah, not gonna be too happy. Not gonna be too happy at
Yeah,
all.
it's gonna be messy. So
Very messy. It's gonna be very messy. It's gonna be a lot. And I know y'all can fight. I know you can. I know you can. But do you have to? Is every battle worth fighting?
Right. And do you want to? Like, is it worth it? Is it gonna help you in the future? Is it gonna help you in the moment either?
So don't rush in. Rushing into love and it's not no, it's just not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
pause.
right. Rest and rejuvenate. See?
Yes.
And then I know somebody may be thinking, but I'm not rushing in, but I'm thinking about it. If you gotta think about it, then you're really not ready.
Good advice. Very good advice.
About it, you're not ready. So
Awesome. Did you have any questions for my tarot reading, Stephany?
yes, for those who are on the go, busybodies, Aries, constantly initiating, and even for other signs that are not Arian signs, but they're initiating. They get up, they action oriented, they do that. For those people who are constantly working, rest and rejuvenation doesn't come quite easy to them. What suggestions do you have for them on what they can do to rest and rejuvenate, even though they're constantly on the go?
I think, maybe if you eat breakfast, go if it's nice, if where you live is getting warm enough, go take your breakfast outside and enjoy your coffee and your breakfast outside and seriously just breathe. Like listen to the birds, listen to nature, listen to whatever noises are around you and just take a moment or take a bubble bath. Like you have to take a shower, take an extra 10 minutes and take a bubble bath. Like just self-care doesn't have to be like sitting and meditating. Like I don't like to just sit and meditate, but maybe read a book or even, read a magazine or a newspaper, sit down and enjoy a good movie. Like that's a
Yeah.
good way to rest and relax as well. So it
Ooh,
doesn't have to be meditation. I think, if you are into tarot and you have a deck, like just sitting down and shuffling the cards like really relaxes me. And, sit and look at the cards and meditate. Like you don't even have to do a reading. Just look at the cards. So that's some
right.
of my advice.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I'm definitely looking forward to any questions that comes about in the comments, and I guess we'll look to see everybody again on the next one.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye.